Here are the contents of the Hollyland Lark Max 2. This is the combo kit. In this video, I'm not really going to go through all of this kit content. I'm going to do an audio test with the microphone that's included on the transmitter, and then I'm going to test the lavalier microphone, and I'm going to compare that to the Lark M2, the Sennheiser profile wireless, and then I'll also compare it to the DJI Mic 2 right here. Here is the Lark Max 2 transmitter. I have the transmitter about 6 inches from my mouth right now, and here is the receiver. I have a longer cable that I'm using. It doesn't come with this long cable, but I wanted to show the receiver in the same shot. So that's why I'm using this other cable. But this is what it sounds like. There's no windscreen on the transmitter, and I didn't do any noise cancellation, and there's no extra gain. This is just right out of the box, and this is exactly what it sounds like. Now as I bring the microphone closer to my mouth, I'm hearing a bit of plosives, and it looks like the microphone on the transmitter is sensitive to wind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of the windscreens right here. Here's what the windscreen looks like. You can see that there's 4 windscreens. These two, when you get the combo kit, these 2 windscreens are for the lavaliers, and then these 2, which are have a different mounting system, these are meant for the transmitters. Here's what I mean by the sensitivity of this microphone. I'm gonna blow into it. So if you're out on a windy day, it's gonna sound distorted. So you're gonna want to use the included windscreen here. Okay, and it pops on just like that, and this sounds pretty good. I'm gonna blow on the windscreen. Wow, okay, so to my ear, monitoring this with headphones, I could barely hear any wind at all. And it's not even distorting on the receiver here. Yeah, this is great. I think the audio also improved when I'm using this windscreen. So if I ever use this, even indoors, I think I'm just going to keep the windscreen on. So this is what it sounds like with the onboard microphone that's built into the transmitter. And in order to connect these to a lavalier, it comes with this accessory 3.5 port. And this is the first time I'm seeing something like this in a 2.4 gigahertz wireless system, where the transmitter itself, in order to keep it small, it does not have a 3.5 jack. So you have this adapter that feels kind of flimsy, but you have this adapter that is a USB-C and then a 3.5. And using this connection, the transmitter, it disables the microphone that is on the transmitter, and you can only plug it in. Okay, test 1, test 2. All right, I'm talking into the lavalier microphone right now. The Hollyland's included lavalier microphone in their combo kit. Here is the receiver, and here's the transmitter. And this is what it looks like. It looks kind of funky with the transmitter connected to that 3.5 right there. I'm not used to seeing anything like this before, but this is kind of cool. It gives a lot more versatility. Here you can see on the side, there's a record button, so you can do 32-bit recording, I believe. And then this also has a feature where if you have a compatible 32-bit recorder on your camera or on an audio recorder, I think from what I've read that you can transmit 32-bit audio as well. Now I'm going to try another lavalier microphone and test out what it would sound like with it is my most expensive lavalier microphone that I own. So right here, this is a Sennheiser MKE2. This is, I think it goes for about $400. This one lavalier, not a set, this one lavalier microphone I have in my hand right now is $400. That's more than this whole combo kit. All right, that did not work. Now what you're listening to is the Lark M2, this thing right here. And here is the receiver much smaller. I'm using the same cable, the same exact audio settings in my camera. The only difference is I switched the transmitter and the wireless system. And I have the transmitter about less than 6 inches from my mouth. The problem that I always have with the Lark 2 is that I do want to use the windscreen, but the windscreen, and I made this in other videos, this is a complaint I have, you have to wrap this windscreen around the entire transmitter, which is not, it takes a while to do. The fuzzy hairs get all loose, and I just don't like it. So whenever I use it, I actually don't use it with this windscreen. And I'll do a windscreen or a wind test on the microphone. Yeah, it's bad too. I wish the Lark 2 had a better system of windscreen, but this is what the microphone sounds like with all settings being the same as the Max 2. And you can't plug in a Lavalier, so this is the only test I'm going to make. Here is the Sennheiser, the profile, and here's the receiver right now. I only have one transmitter plugged in, and I'm using the same cable. Nothing's really changed. And I have the transmitter that I'm talking to right now. It is about less than 6 inches from my mouth. There's no windscreen on. I'll do a little wind blow test. But this is what it looks like. There's the package it comes in, and then here's the different form factor, quite unique from other transmitter cases because the case itself becomes its own kind of microphone. I've done a review of this before, so I'm not going to go into all the details, but this is what this looks like. There's the other transmitter, and this is what it sounds like. I'm going to do a blow test with the microphone. That's the blow test, and I think it has a windscreen. Okay, that's what the windscreen sounds like. I'm going to do another blow test. Oh man, that windscreen is fantastic. It's just as good as that Hollyland. To test the Lavalier microphone, I'm going to use the same exact Lavalier microphone that came with the Hollyland Max 2. Okay, I have the Lavalier microphone placed about less than 3 inches from my mouth. And you can see here that what sets this one apart from all of the other wireless systems that I'm going to test today in this video is that this one has a locking connection. So what I am also going to test is bringing that very expensive Sennheiser MKE2 mic that has a locking connection. And let me see if that even works. This does work. This connection works fine. How does this microphone sound, by the way? This $400 Lavalier microphone. Does it sound any better than the Hollyland Lavalier that came with the set? Finally, what you're listening to right now is the DJI Mic 2. I'm going to do a blow test. That's what it sounds like when there's no windscreen on, and now I'm going to apply the windscreen. And here's what it sounds like with the windscreen. Yeah, windscreen's fantastic. Always recommend using the windscreen on these microphones. If you experience the same thing, let me know. But I've noticed that the DJI has a bit of a delay, has some latency that the other ones don't have. So I'm hearing, as I'm monitoring this in my headphones, I'm hearing a slight delay. I did not hear this kind of delay with the Lark. I did not hear this kind of delay with the Sennheiser, but I am hearing a little bit of a delay that's kind of annoying with the DJI, and I think it's notorious for that. So now I'm going to do a test with the Lavalier microphone. Okay, this is what it sounds like with the Hollyland Lavalier microphone in the DJI 2 transmitter, and going into that receiver, going into the camera right now. This is what it sounds like. Okay, so the Sennheiser MKE2 works on the DJI 2, except there is some interference when you put the microphone capsule right next to the transmitter. That buzz does not sound nice. I did not notice that kind of interference when I was using the Sennheiser wireless system right here, this one. When I was going Sennheiser to Sennheiser, I did not hear that interference. and the Hollyland, it doesn't even work. So your mileage will vary depending on the kind of system you're using. But as you can hear from my tests, the DJI Mic 2 works with it, except it has that interference. And that's the whole test. That's all I'm going to do in this video.